everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger with SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, April 25th through Sunday, May 1st, 2016. So for this weekly reading, we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck for the main message. And for your special message card, depending on your stone of choice, we're going to be using the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, which is also by Doreen Virtue. So we're going to start out by talking about the astrology for the week before we get into choosing the cards for the week. But let me show you what your stones of choice are so that you can think about that, which stone you want to pick for your special message card. Your first stone of choice is Rhyolite. Now, Rhyolite is a stone that I haven't used before on these videos. This is the only piece of Rhyolite I have. You can see how large it is. It's actually a nice Rhyolite sphere. And Rhyolite helps to activate creativity, the creativity of the soul. It's also great for past life healing, also very good for healing of self-esteem and self-worth issues or energies. Your second stone of choice, I decided to choose all larger stones. This is actually malachite and azurite. This is a raw piece of azurite and malachite together. The malachite is the green and the azurite is the darker blue. Now, this combination of stone helps to open the third eye. It helps to unlock spiritual vision, and it helps with deep emotional healing. And then your third stone of choice is aragonite. The aragonite is a stone. It always comes in little clusters like this. This one happens to be brown in color. This helps with earth energies, earth healing, and it actually helps to activate the earth goddess energy. It also helps with emotional stress, helping to heal that emotional stress, and it helps with grounding, so it helps to kind of give you a sense of being grounded. So again, your stones of choice are the Rhyolite sphere, the combination of azurite and malachite, or the aragonite. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the astrology for the week. Now, we're just coming off a full moon in Scorpio from last Thursday, Friday, depending on what part of the world you're in. So that Scorpio full moon, there was some interesting, intense energies leading up to it. Scorpio is always an intense sign anyway, and Scorpio deals with death and rebirth and healing on a deep subconscious emotional level. It's about releasing and purging. And of course, the full moon, now that it's starting to wane, it's time to let go of some of those energies. So it's time to bring in that transformation and allow things to be released. Now, as we move into this week, April 25th through Sunday, May 1st, we start out on Monday, and I don't always, as a lot of you know that watch my videos, I don't talk about all of the moon aspects because the moon moves so fast and it connects with so many different planets every day as it's moving through the 12 signs of the zodiac. I don't always talk about that, but I wanted to mention Monday that the moon is in the sign of Sagittarius and it's actually connecting with a lot of planets, and so I thought I would give it a little bit of a mention here. The moon in Sagittarius first connects with Mars in Sagittarius, which has recently gone retrograde, if you remember. And then it's going to make a challenging aspect to Neptune in Pisces. And then it's going to make a challenging aspect to Jupiter in Virgo, which is opposing Neptune in Pisces. And then it's going to come up and meet with Saturn in Sagittarius. Now, the interesting thing about this is, and I mentioned that Mars has recently turned retrograde. Saturn not too long ago turned retrograde, and Jupiter is actually slowing down to turn back to direct motion, which is why mentioning the moon connecting with all of these planets is significant, because a lot of these planets are either just recently moved retrograde or getting ready to turn direct. So they're in a slower kind of motion, which intensifies or magnifies those energies. Now, because that a lot of these are challenging aspects, and the conjunction is either it can either be looked at as a positive aspect or sometimes a challenging aspect, but it's an intensifier of energy here. So there's a lot going on with truth. What is our truth? And what is your truth in comparison with maybe what other people's truths are? And it doesn't mean that one person's right and the other person's wrong, because our truth is our truth, right? It doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks, what anybody else's belief systems are. Their truth is their truth, and your truth is your truth. But as the moon is connecting with Mars and then Neptune and then Jupiter and then Saturn, it is magnifying and bringing out a lot of our ideas about what we believe. And sometimes Sagittarius can be very opinionated, okay? So because the moon is in Sagittarius, we're going to have strong opinions at this time. And we might be challenged by what other people's thoughts, opinions, or ideas are. So this is just a day that to keep yourself in check, basically, to remember that everybody is a soul with their own individual truth, and that whatever other people's truth is okay, because you own your truth. And it doesn't mean that you have to push your truth upon anybody else, just as anybody else is not to push their truth onto you, but to just be aware, what is my truth? It's also, Sagittarius is also a sign of learning and teaching. And so there's a lot to be had of listening to what other people's truths are, and then maybe learning something new. And there's also an opportunity to teach other people if they're open and perceptive and actually, in a place that they want to hear what your truth is. So as long as you're not pushing your, thoughts and opinions and ideas upon someone else, it's okay to teach people or to share your ideas and to share your truth with other people. As we move to Thursday the 28th, the moon is in Capricorn. It's going to be connecting with Pluto, planet of transformation and change, death and rebirth, and then it connects to Uranus, which brings some higher vibrational energies, freedom energies. It also is a planet that brings in sometimes unexpected, fast change. So this can be about bringing in some transformation and change in regards to what your goals are. The Capricorn sign, which the moon is in, is often about goals and career and how people see us in the world, how other people view us. So I think there might be some changes that are going on as far as your destiny path or your career path and who you are out in the world. Now that also happens to be the day that Mercury goes into retrograde motion. It goes retrograde in the sign of Taurus. I believe it's around 23 degrees Taurus, if I remember correctly. And it's going to retrograde all the way back to, I believe it's 14 degrees Taurus on May 22nd is when it will turn back to direct motion. So it's going to be retrograde for about 3 weeks. And we've already probably been feeling some of this last week and maybe even the week before as it was slowing down. But remember, Mercury retrograde is always a time to redo and reorganize and review and research. All of those words, it's a time to kind of go over things and make sure that your plans are in order and make sure that communications are clear. It's not a good time to sign contracts or start anything new, but it is a time to continue with things if you've already started them and you want to continue with them and research them a little further or dig deeper into it, or it's good for that kind of progress. And of course, when it comes to electronics, computers and phones, when it comes to travel or meetings, a lot of times there can be some challenges or, again, miscommunication, missed appointments. So just be aware while Mercury is retrograde that might occur. So on Friday, the other thing we're going to talk about is Friday the 29th, Venus, the planet that rules relationships and love, and it rules our values, it rules money and finances, is moving into the sign of Taurus, where it will be until May 24th. And Taurus is one of the signs that Venus naturally rules. The other sign is Libra. But Venus being in its ruling sign of Taurus is going to be very comfortable here. It's definitely going to put a lot of emphasis on material aspects of life, which again, money and finances, or things that are associated with money and finances, like your career, your projects. It's going to focus on values. So what is it that you value? And also about self-value, valuing yourself and knowing that you are worthy and deserving of all the goodness that the universe has to offer. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at our message from the angels. So we're going to again be using that Angel Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue, and I haven't chosen the cards yet, but I will say that while I was, and see, this one's popping out, so I'm going to pull it out and put it down, but as I was meditating earlier, and I always kind of shuffle the decks that I'm going to use for the video while I'm meditating on the week and the energies of the week. And there was a card that did, this one's popping out, I'm going to pull that one, but there was a card that fell out of the deck while I was shuffling earlier and meditating earlier. So I picked it up and I put it aside, and that's going to be kind of a fourth extra card to tie in the rest of the information or the messages that we get with the 3 cards. So we just need one more card to kind of show itself or pop out as I'm shuffling, and I see one here, but it's actually stuck to another card. So there's the last card there. You probably saw that. You got a sneak peek of it. All right, so let's go ahead and turn over the first card. And the first card is the 8 of Air. And the 8 of Air says an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and afraid to take action. Okay, so this is often a card to where you feel like you're being held back or challenged in some way. And it really does deal with empowerment energies. The number 8 to me is a number of power, and it's a number of abundance. It's a number that deals with lessons. I really associate the number 8 with the planet Saturn, so I feel like it deals with earthly lessons. But again, it deals with our sense of power, owning our power. And this is the air suit, so we're dealing with the mental realm. So when we're feeling trapped like this, when we're feeling trapped or stuck or challenged or held back, whether held back by other people or held back by your circumstances, it's all just an illusion of the mind. Okay, this is an illusion of the ego mind is what we're talking about here. And the key word here is illusion. It even says here, an illusion of being trapped. You're not really trapped. It's almost like this, I get this image, and I can't remember which tarot card it is, but there's an image in one of the tarot cards to where this person has chains wrapped around their ankles, and they're chained to something, to where it's like this feeling of being chained and trapped, and they can't get free. But the illusion is that that chain is just very loosely wound around their ankle. It's not tightly wound around the ankle. All they have to do is kind of take off that chain and they're free. And this is the same kind of energy, the same kind of information. Is all you have to do is have the confidence and the courage within yourself. And you have to start with that confidence and courage on the mental level, in the mental realm. You have to have this thought that you are strong, that you are powerful, that you are creative, that you are worthy, whatever the thought needs to be. Whatever thought needs to help you empower yourself is where you have to go. And then all you have to do is break free of the illusion of being trapped to be able to run forward, move forward, gain momentum, and go for what it is that you want to go for. But let's go ahead and take a look at the second card to see what further message we can get. Okay, so we have the Queen of Earth here. And the words at the top of this card says, thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. The message at the bottom says, make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. Okay, so remember, we've come off that full moon in Scorpio from last week. We're still feeling the effects of that. Okay, once a full moon is passed doesn't mean that those energies are done and over with. the full moon kind of brings things into a crescendo mode, it kind of intensifies the energy. But once the full moon is over, now we have that wave crashing on the shore and we have to deal with the aftermath. So we're dealing here with energies of making sure that you stay very grounded and stable within yourself. I feel like the Queen of Earth here is describing energies that you need to hold on to, that you need to kind of settle into. And the Queen of Earth is always very grounded and always very understanding and always very practical but compassionate at the same time, because the queens are always that nurturing energy. And again, it says deal with challenges in an understanding manner. So here we have the Eight of Earth, to where you might feel challenged or trapped, and the Queen of Earth is saying deal with this in a very grounded, practical, but understanding manner, that you're going to be able to get through this. That as long as you stay grounded and don't allow yourself to get caught up in the ego mind of fears, the illusion of fears, the illusion of anxiety or being trapped, the illusion of the negative over here. Stay grounded in your sense of self. Stay grounded in that mothering, nurturing energy that's within you, and move forward in a practical manner to come up with practical solutions as we move forward. I also think of Venus. Venus is that divine feminine energy like the Queen is. The Venus is going into Taurus this week on Friday, and Taurus is an earth sign. So it's almost like Venus and Taurus here with the Queen of Earth. So value yourself, know that you're worthy and deserving, and value yourself as you move forward in this week. Let's see what the last card is. Isn't this interesting? We have another Queen. Okay. Now we have the Queen of Water. And the Queen of Water says tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. It says relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition and care for yourself and others. Just as I was saying, value yourself, care for yourself. So I feel like with the two queens here, these are energies that you're going to need to move into, hold on to, be in this week as we're moving forward. Because again, with the Queen of Earth and the Queen of Water being that nurturing, grounded, practical, dealing with challenges in an understanding way, paying attention to your intuition, which is the Queen of Water, this is going to help you to move away from that feeling of being trapped. This is going to help you to break free of that illusion of the ego mind this week as we move into that releasing mode of energy after the full moon of last week. Let's take a look at that fourth card that I said when I was shuffling earlier before starting the video, it fell out. Okay. We have Major Arcana number 13, which is release, okay? And this is Archangel Azrael. So very interesting. I was talking about transformation or releasing or purging energies from that full moon earlier, and now we have the release card. And in the regular traditional tarot, this is called the Death card, which is again symbolic of death and rebirth, okay? Releasing the old so that the new can come in. The message at the bottom of this card says the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, and time to move on, okay? So this is, again, confirmation that there's something from time past, from before we had that full moon in Scorpio. It could be an idea, it could be an attitude, could be a belief system, could be some old emotions or feelings that need to be purged and released, or it can actually mean a circumstance or a situation or maybe even a relationship that it's time to move on from. It's time to let go. Now, you're going to know, as I'm talking about this, you're going to know deep in your soul what that is. Whether this is an energy, an emotion, a feeling, a thought, a belief, or whether this is some sort of circumstance, situation, or relationship that we're talking about here for you. But this is definitely saying, and the Archangel Azrael is helping you to move on from that situation. It's time to release that situation. It's no longer beneficial for you. It's no longer good for you to hold on to. It might be weighing you down. It might be causing a sense of inequality, or bringing up energies of disempowerment. It might be bringing up energies of feeling trapped, okay? And so it's definitely time to move on from that energy. And your angels and archangels are going to help you this week in doing so. Let's look at what your special message is, depending on your stone of choice. So for those of you that chose the Rhyolite, that was the first one. Okay, that one wanted to fall out. So this is for Rhyolite people. Rhyolite people is Sedna. And it says, infinite supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. Now, if this is a circumstance that you're dealing with that maybe has to do with money, prosperity, abundance, career, this is definitely saying that there is that infinite supply of abundance, which is definitely true. And actually, it's interesting because I have been listening to a lot of abundance kinds of videos lately. I've been reading a book about abundance angels. So this definitely kind of speaks to me. But you have to understand that everyone has the ability to have their dreams come true. Everyone has the ability to create the perfect job or career for themselves, to have the perfect, most wonderful relationship for themselves, to have financial security and abundance for themselves, because that's what the universe wants for each and every one of us. And this message from Sedna is saying that that is within your reach because, again, there's an infinite supply of happiness, joy, abundance, prosperity, good health, well-being for all of us out there. The first step is to believe it and to know it. And then you have to kind of train your mind to really stay in that place of believing it and knowing it. So affirmations, doing meditation and visualizations, listening maybe to some of these abundance types of videos, reading material that talks about the infinite supply of abundance or prosperity. And creating your dreams, manifestation, the principle of manifestation. So I would invite you to maybe go out and research some of that. But this is definitely telling you that whatever it is that you desire, that you've been working towards, maybe it's something to do with your destiny path, that the supply is there. Your angels and guides are assisting you with it. So hold on to that truth, know that that is the case, and then move forward on your path with a belief that whatever it is that you need is going to come to you. Okay, for those of you that chose the Malachite Azurite, okay, let's give this a little bit of a shuffle. This one's popping out. Malachite Azurite, this is Athena with inner wisdom, okay? And this says, you know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. So whenever I see this card, I always think of going within, connecting with your higher soul self, that eternal part of your nature that is your sacred soul that's connected to God's source energies, because God's source energies, universe, knows all the answers. And because you are a creation of God's source universe, you have that ability within yourself to tap into that higher essence of yourself, to connect to that wisdom, which is indicated by the owl here in the Athena card. That owl is a totem animal of wisdom. And if you go within and silence your mind, quiet your mind, balance your mind, and, again, through meditation or contemplation, that's when you're going to be able to find the answers that you're seeking. And then you have to trust it. Sometimes we get the answer, or we feel like we're getting a message from spirit or from our inner guide or from our angels. And then we question it and say, oh, maybe I'm making that up, or, I don't know why that's there. Maybe it's just what I really want. So you have to trust. You have to trust that the message that you're feeling or sensing or seeing or hearing is the appropriate message. Trust your own intuition as you're moving forward in this week. And then the other part of this card says then you have to take action on it, okay? When you get a message, when you get a feeling that something's right for you, if you just sit back. I mean, the first part is to recognize the message and listen to your intuition, but the second part is that you have to move forward and take some sort of action to make things happen. That's the only way you're going to make your dreams to come true, is to take action on the guidance that you're getting. So this is kind of a two-part message where listen and trust your guidance, and then take action on it and move forward on it. And then for those of you that chose the Aragonite, okay, so let's give this a shuffle. This one's really calling my attention, Aragonite. Okay, and we have Hathor with receptivity. The message at the bottom says, allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. So oftentimes, especially you light workers out there, we want to help people, assist people, guide people. And so many of you, the same way, you're better at giving than you are at receiving. Do you receive a compliment well? When somebody wants to help you or assist you, do you receive that well? Or do you say, no, it's okay, I don't need that? When you do that with someone, you are actually doing that to the universe. You're saying, no, universe, I don't want your help and assistance. So you have to learn how to be a good receiver, okay? Not just a good giver, but a good receiver. I mean, giving is a wonderful thing, but you also, in order to manifest and bring your dreams into fruition, you have to know how to receive well. So when somebody gives you a compliment, you need to say thank you so very much. Or when somebody wants to give you a present or give you a gift or give you assistance or hold the door open for you, whatever it might be, just say thank you. And when you're saying thank you, you're not only saying thank you to them, but you're saying thank you to the universe, which is an indication and a sign to the universe that you're wanting to receive, that you're ready to receive, that you know you're worthy of receiving, again, of all of these gifts and dreams that the universe wants to gift you with. So start to kind of pay attention to how you act when the universe, and it might be just spontaneously, you find, let's say, I don't know, you could find a $10 bill on the ground, Do you receive that and do you say, oh my gosh, thank you, universe. I feel so grateful and thankful. Do you, look to your friends who, want to give you that present or take you out to dinner and say, thank you, I'll receive that. Thank you very much. So have this joyous, optimistic attitude. Don't feel guilty about receiving, because again, that puts the brakes on things, and the universe wants to bring you all of this wonderful, beautiful energy, all of this abundance and prosperity, the abundance here of this water flowing down, this receptive energy, which is the water energy. Be open to receiving it. Be open to the unconditional love and the blessings and the gifts of the universe. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in, for commenting on my videos, for sharing my videos, commenting on my Facebook posts and sharing those. If you're new to this video, new to the channel, if you like this video, please subscribe. There's many monthly and weekly videos that I do. Also, my Facebook, 2 pages. Colleen Lemma is one where you can get the daily astrological messages. And also on Facebook, the other page is Sacred Soul Empowerment, where you can get daily empowering posts for your own self-empowerment and education. So I feel very blessed to be able to do what I'm doing, but I couldn't do it without you. So I want to send a lot of love and light and a lot of gratitude to all of you. And I send you all many, many angel blessings.